In this video, I will go over one of the drawing sets that we have created for the interior design as-built package that we have. And in case this is your first time to our channel, my name is Jay and I'm the founder of As-Built LA. We are a local company in Los Angeles helping interior designers and architects document the existing conditions of their project. Back to the video. So I will go to the first page on the set. So here in this video, what I want to show you is what are the typical drawing items that we deliver to interior designers. And in this one, we start, of course, with the floor plan, the basis of all drawings. So this project is actually 2 levels. So we have the first floor here, then we have the second level. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the as-built PDF set, and then we can dive a little deeper into each drawing. So this is the second floor, and then afterwards we also have a basement. Afterwards we have the interior elevations on 1 sheet, 2 sheets, and then a 3rd sheet. Okay, and then we proceed to adding the ceiling plan. And in the case of this ceiling plan, we're also showing the lighting information. So it's a combination of RCP and lighting information. And of course, since the building is multi-story, so we have the first floor and the second floor, and then the basement here had 1 fixture basically. Okay, now back to the beginning of the set, back at the floor plan. So you will see in the floor plan typically what we include at least for our projects when we're doing floor plans, whether we're working with an architect, an interior designer, an engineer, or a real estate agent. Basically what we include is, of course, the walls, doors, windows, and then we show the fixtures in the kitchen, and then in the bathroom. I think I can draw here. Let me see if I can find this tool. Yes, I can. Okay, perfect. So you can see here, like, we include the kitchen elements, and then we include the bathroom elements. We would show the stairs, how they look like, and then afterwards I'm looking here at the set to see what's going on. So we also have the laundry room at this side. We have the fireplace outline indicated. So this would be for the floor plan. Now there's a little bit more. Obviously we have a lot of annotations that we're including here, such as the door sizes, which is the width and the height. And then for windows, we typically include 3 dimensions: the width, height, and then the sill height. Okay. Now for each room, we would include the room name. Now, sometimes we get the room names wrong. The client calls them something different and we fix it, but that's okay. For the most part, majority of the rooms are, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. It will be either a bedroom or an office or a walk-in closet, and so on. Pretty straightforward. Now, since this project, we're also including interior elevations, we also have the interior elevation tags that you can clearly see over here. And back to the room names, I wanted to mention that we typically include the ceiling highest point on the floor plan. We wouldn't break down the ceiling heights on the floor plan just because it would become a lot of information and it's not really clear, which is why we have the reflected ceiling plan, or the RCP, to indicate all of that. Now, closing the drawing tool and moving on to the next PDF page. So this is the second floor. I guess I can highlight a couple more elements here as well. So as you will see, let me start the drawing. So here we have the steps indicators. This is how I designed the symbol basically of how we're showing the step. Nothing too inventive. But anyway, we also indicate some notes when it comes to the sizes of the pony walls, basically right here, or the parapet walls. So right here it's 1/8 height of pony wall, and then here it's a different height, and so on. It's probably not a used balcony, but those are the sizes that we found for this project. Okay, now moving with the next sheet, zooming out. So this is the basement. We have here the furnace, the water heater symbols indicated, and then looking at the interior elevations. Now you can see here the interior elevations, we are showing them in a 1/4 inch scale. Recently, I instructed our team to show them in 1/2 inch scale instead. That way, for us internally, when we see the drawing on a bigger scale, we tend to detail it further and, provide more information for the designer. So So we expanded the scale so we can include more information, and generally it is the standard to look at interior elevations in 1/2 inch scale, 3/4 of an inch, or 1 inch scale. Okay, and then of course we will have more sheets, but it's a PDF document, so that should be pretty straightforward. Okay, now for the interior elevation, typically of course we will have the walls, doors, windows, we would have the outline of the space and the ceiling, and so on. Now in the case of this project, we didn't indicate the electrical outlets because this project did not have electrical drawing. But if we had the electrical as part of it, we would also include the fixtures on the walls, basically. So we would have a separate plan that shows the switches and outlets, and then for the interior elevations, we would also show where the outlet box and the switch boxes are, right? So that's for the interior elevation. Let's look at the next sheet. This is pretty straightforward. And then the next sheet, so this one we have it here. And then now looking at the ceiling plan, you can see the information, of course, is focused fully on the ceiling, and you can see all the ceiling outlines that we have right here. I'll use the drawing tool again. Okay, so we can see these outlines right here. We have some outlines over by the kitchen. Now sometimes some projects we have skylights. Okay, so we do actually have a skylight right here. So that is indicated, the size of the skylight and where it is positioned or displaced, basically in terms of, the width and the height. And then of course here we also include the legend of what we are, that was a wrong line. So we include basically what we mean by each symbol, so that way it's clear and easy for you to use the drawing. And then finally on the last sheet, you will see here, I'm gonna close the drawing command, and then here back to the second floor. Basically there's an additional note here that I would like to highlight, which is when we see rafters or drop ceiling items, we would basically indicate them and mention the dimensions. So in the case of this one, what we observed is a 4 inch by 5 inch at 3 feet off center repetition. Okay, so this is the note for this one. So that would be another note that we would typically include on the ceiling plan for our projects. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can reach out to us on the phone or an email. See you in the next one.